Today we're taking a peek at the current GPU market and the current prices.
Things are not great like they have been the past few months, but there are some silver linings we're going to talk about and see if building a PC in 2025, in May of 2025, is still worth it. Let's talk about it after a word from today's sponsor.
Arzopa and their Z1 FC monitor. We've taken a look at a handful of monitors from Arzopa recently here at the HQ, and we've been pretty impressed with the value they offer for the price. And the Z1 FC monitor is no different. The Z1 FC is an ultra slim 16.1-inch portable gaming monitor that comes in with a vibrant 1080p IPS display. And the best part about the Z1 FC has to be the 144Hz refresh rate that this display comes with, which allows for ultra smooth gameplay and video. This high refresh rate display works great for a dedicated monitor for your gaming handheld, a secondary monitor for your laptop, or even just an additional monitor that you can use to boost your workflow speeds like our editor does here at the HQ. And unlike most portable monitors, this one gives you the option to set it up vertically or horizontally to fit in all kinds of spots that you're at home or on the go setup. And paired with easy USB-C connectivity and an extremely small footprint, this makes for the perfect versatile display for any gamer. And hey, maybe you don't even need a portable monitor, but that still shouldn't stop you from going out and checking out Arzopa's full line of monitors. Because like the Z1 FC, these monitors offer some insane value for the price. Big thanks to Arzopa for sponsoring today's video. You can learn more about the Z1 FC in the description down below.
So today we're going to be taking a look at a few online retailers, going over some pricing, maybe even buying some GPUs if we see some good deals. And of course, we do have to give a shout out to the upcoming RTX 5060 and possibly a 9060 from AMD this month.
Yeah, there are going to be two new GPUs coming to the market that will definitely shake things up. And when we get into June's update, we'll be able to tell you guys what the availability is like of those. Hopefully it's good. But we have seen some good things, some bad things, like seeing some 50 series NVIDIA GPUs in stock readily available, which we'll show you guys during some of the shopping here. But we're going to go through, start with Amazon, and look at some of the options that are available in terms of the high-end new stuff, look at some of the previous gen stuff we normally recommend, and then talk about some of the bad stuff a little bit later. We'll save the bad stuff later, which is AliExpress. All right, we'll start with the art cards. So we did the B570, B580 last time, which we were noticing those were in stock, but based on, pricing, they weren't amazing.
Yeah, especially when we've not been able to get the 7600 or like the 4060.
We can get rid of my cart right here with my t-shirts I haven't bought.
Oh. All right, so we got 329, 360. There's an A750 randomly thrown in there.
No, Amazon does not seem to be the move for the B570. Maybe the B580 they'd have it.
B580.
We know definitely Newegg has had them. We'll take a look at Newegg here in a minute, but it's looking like Amazon's just not good for these art cards at all.
No, which I do feel like, yeah, Newegg has always kind of been like they've been a supporter of the art cards.
Which gives you the 580. That one's overpriced, 389. 341. I've seen them as low as, if you probably look up B580, you might find it specifically. I've seen them as low as 300.
Make sure my search didn't limit us.
Yeah. 279.
Oh, it did limit us.
Okay, so yeah, there is an actual B570 for 279, which is not amazing, but adjusting for pricing is a budget GPU that's in stock.
Yeah, oh, there's one out of stock for 229.
That would have been good.
Yeah, one thing we do have to remember is, so for all of these sellers, so Amazon, Newegg, basically all the US-based sellers, which a lot of you are reviewing from, they're going to be like including the tariff pricing. So they're going to look really expensive, but they may not be. Now, when we go to AliExpress, you'll kind of see, oh, this stuff's cheaper, but wait a minute, the tariffs make it really expensive.
So see if the 80 is available as well, because 279, maybe you can get a B580 for 299 from Onyx. Okay, so
that's actually not bad.
Just for context, this card released at $269, which at $299, given the current state of the market, is actually not horrible. 309, but again, that's not much more, but you get an RGB version, which RGB kind of works on that one model.
And it was white.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then, we're kind of getting to some out of stocks that are, like, that would be really cool if, 269 was in stock. But honestly, that's a little promising, which let's make sure that our counter components are there. So we'll try the RX 7600 just to make sure that, that's still a good price. So, I mean, hey, now the RX B580 is kind of appealing. Yeah. That's not bad. Full size card, comparatively, comparatively.
Yeah, to mention, we've done tests before, especially for live streaming. If you are a live streaming creator, you would want to go either 7600 or 4060 or the inevitable 5060. B580 is great for out of the box, but live streaming, it tends to struggle on a single PC setup, and 4060 seem to be nowhere to be found.
Hong Kong, like,
there's a refurb. That's weird.
I'd rather go the 7600 to the B580.
Check Amazon for those. Yeah, and see. But yeah, those are the two cards always we tell people to go first versus the B580 if you just want a no issues experience. But now the B580 is looking more appealing. Wow.
I guess this is low profile.
It is
it is.
It is
oh my god, it looks so big.
It is a low profile 4060.
Don't pay that much though.
Yeah, please don't. 429, 469. I think we're just waiting for 5060 at this point. So let's hope that 5060 is at a competitive price.
Nvidia stopped making these like 4 months ago secretly.
Yeah, you just can't get them anymore. I guess we'll start looking at maybe the bright side of things, the 50 series, like 5070 and stuff that you can potentially actually buy.
Yeah, so Newegg's like one of my favorite places to go for these. So 670, not a great price, especially like the Shadow is like an entry level. They do have a Shadow 2X. That should be our cheapest card. But yeah, so this right here is like one of our entry level 5070s, which really should be like probably about 6, because I know that the Shadow 2X, which is the 2-fin version, those are usually 550.
Yeah, so that is definitely pricey, but it is a step in the right direction that they're in stock. $1,099 for a 70 series card just hurts me on the inside, yeah, but you know, it is what it is. $699, so it looks like, oh, there's a 609, that's what you're talking about.
Yeah, see, this is getting close to what we're talking about here. We got $10 delivery too.
Has Amazon had any of the 50 series in stock?
I mean, they sometimes.
It really, I'll give shout out to Newegg. Newegg's really stepped up in terms of like having the cards that people want, because that's too expensive. That's not bad, 714, but that could be a third-party seller. You always got the third-party seller situation.
It's definitely nice that they're like obtainable though. Like
yes.
you can get all of them for like they're not quite scalper price, but they're not too far from it, you know.
Yeah.
But I'd rather pay. Honestly, I'd rather pay a corporation to just get it scalped from them than pay a person that's making money off me.
Yeah, in no ways are we happy about the pricing. Obviously, this is just our way of showing you guys that pricing is getting higher. It's just going to be more expensive. So the expectation is going to need to be adjusted in terms of what you can actually realistically think you're going to pay, like $1,500 for the 5080.
Which sadly, like, I mean, I spent almost that at Micro Center for this exact one. Yep. So that might not really be terrible.
$1,599. It's just the fact that they're in stock here, because again, Micro Center, that one's not bad at all, actually. Yeah. $13.89. The fact that you can actually buy these online and not have to wait at a Micro Center is the biggest thing.
Another $13.99.
Okay. So 5080 is easier to get.
Yeah.
Which is a good sign.
I think they've gotten expensive enough, and the people that were willing to pay the scalpers have already done it, you know, which is honestly kind of nice. Let's see any 90 series.
Yeah, I was gonna say some of the 9070 or 9070 XT. Those are the cards that when they do pop up, we did see one. Shout out to Scatterville, by the way. He did a tweet on a deal we did see, which is probably why it sold out super quickly, but it was a 9070 XT at $699, which was a good price point. It's that one right there.
Which this is like your counter offer here. If this one's gone, I mean, you are looking at like 850 plus, which, I mean, I guess when we compare it to like, you know, 5070 Ti, it's still cheaper.
It is cheaper, yeah, and that's a competing card, so AMD option there. I wish that was there all the time. $549 for a Challenger 9070.
With these prices, you know?
It'd be beautiful. But what I'm seeing here is if you are really, really hunting for a very specific card, if you're willing to try like a stock alert type app, you'd be pretty easily able to obtain some of these cards, because some of these are sitting for not just a few seconds, they're sitting for hours before they sell out.
Luckily, because we have PC Bros, you know, we do try to find deals where we'll buy cards like this, and I know we picked up a 5070 for $550 as a reference card.
609 C details. That's a high demand product, so that might be one of those reservations.
Most of these, yeah. Most of these are C details, but typically they aren't like they're pretty close to MSRP at Best Buy.
Yeah, so you get a Founders one for sure for $549. That's like obviously the best bang for buck, but that's Nvidia Founders. So
make sure we don't have anything cool at Walmart.
Yeah, Walmart's always the one. Last time, we should probably tell you guys if you didn't see the update from the last video, we bought a 4070 on the last one, and we were like, whoa, insane. It got canceled. So unfortunately, we never even got that 4070.
Look at that, only 3 left at 670. So it's about, you know, not great pricing, but it's like what Newegg and stuff had. But yeah, so it is always worth, if you're looking for a card, don't just look at like one retailer. Like I promise you'll find one eventually. You just got to keep bouncing back and forth, you know, so leave some tabs open.
I know one thing that we've been looking at, or we've had to buy for builds, is like the 7000 series AMD stuff, like a 7800 XC 79.
It's typically to be like I know Newegg and Amazon have had some. You're so close to getting a new gen card, but like.
Yeah, it's one of those where if you desperately need one, it would work, but I would say you're getting close to a new gen, so I'd probably wait for a new gen instead of just pulling the trigger on.
I know, I think this is the one that I just bought for the giveaway, 571.
From Sapphire.
Actually, I don't know, they might have been 7800 XT.
Was that one that was 529? I just saw that down there.
Yeah, it hurts because this card at one point, I think, didn't it get down to like $350?
It did. It's like $200 up now. It's crazy.
Yeah, I mean,
there's 479.
And even that feels expensive. You know, we're still getting. It's gonna take a while to get used to this new pricing. I'm hoping we don't have to get used to it, but I think we are gonna have to get used to it for, I'm gonna say, at least a year at this point.
Yeah, it's gonna be. I'm just committed by December this year. Maybe we'll see some improvements, hopefully, but we don't know what the climate's gonna be like here in the U.S.
Yeah, then I remember this was kind of like a tough one where it's like, this is what I bought.
Yeah,
I bought this one.
Yeah, that'd be a better deal.
Yeah, $579 for, like, that card is actually pretty on par with, especially with the VRAM. It's pretty close to a normal 9070, and let's be honest, a normal 9070, unless you find like that really good deal, you're gonna spend $200 more than this.
Yeah, so definitely last gen will be worth it for that one. We'll give Amazon a go.
See if the old jungle has any.
Old Jeffrey Bezos. That's not bad.
It's a thick boy, you know.
It's a 3-fan. He's like, wait a minute, that one's actually not bad.
$479 for 2-fan.
And the shipping windows are not bad. Sometimes the ones
I saw that and I was like, oh.
Yeah. $329 is now the new $7,600 price, it looks like.
The gay! But no, this is kind of an honorable mention because AMD does not have a new gen card that has more than 16 gigs of VRAM, which I argue most people don't need. But if you're into VRAM, 7900 XT, which I think isn't that a lot, that is basically 9070 XT.
Basically,
right?
9070 XT, but with more VRAM.
And so, honestly, cheaper right now.
Yep.
So
if you're not getting to live streaming, I will say the 9070s are really good in terms of live stream. So if you want to uplift in live stream performance, that's where I would go with the new gen and wait for it. $599. 50 people bought. That looks good. It looks like a really
fake. Yeah, the whole twin fan. I guess we saw this.
This
is one little shout out. Oh, sold and shipped by Amazon. Okay. One little shout out, by the way, guys, for because we're giving you advice in this video, right? Always be careful whenever you're looking at Amazon listings. If you see one that's not Prime or whatever, it's a really good deal. I'm trying to find an example of one. So this one, if you scroll down, you'll notice it ships from Amazon, which that's good.
Sold by Care.
Sold by Care. I can click on them and actually see and I really have really good ratings.
When you sell 580 2048s, I mean, you know.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy, honestly, they have that good of ratings. But a lot of times you'll click on these and they will have horrible, they'll have 20% ratings. So just, look at those things. I will say, I don't know if you've kept up, I do look at Walmart and Best Buy a lot for AMD. I don't think they ever have them for some reason. They may
not.
Walmart might. I don't think Best Buy ever has.
Wasn't there, I don't remember the name of it, totally unrelated, but wasn't there a recent discovery that there's a seller on Walmart that is a...
MSI, right?
MSI has their own sold store,
I guess. Some weird name.
So if you buy an MSI graphics card on Walmart, by the way, it's under a different name, just a heads up. If you're looking for a 5070 or something, it is under a name you may not trust, you think, but it's actually a company owned by MSI.
I really do wish these cards were easier to find. Which, yeah, Best Buy, I have noticed they do always have these, the 7700 XTs for, $450. So it's not too bad. A lot of times they have them in store.
Yeah.
You got your 7900 XT. You don't really see the XTX as much. You get their pre-builds. The 66, yeah, they'll have you know what else they often have at Best Buy in store is 580s.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of
still making them.
Old XFX 580s just sitting there. We're like, are you serious?
What upsets me more though is the fact that how are they still making those and Nvidia can't make a generation old card?
They said no. But speaking of old cards, I guess let's check used at this point.
eBay.
So let's go eBay. We can take a look at some of the other stuff too if you want to see if you can find some of the new gen stuff on there.
It usually isn't worth looking at, but we'll prove that. But maybe we'll prove ourselves wrong.
It's going to be these in-hand scalpers. You're just... Anything new is going to be probably scalper. We'll touch on the one thing that we realized. We could check local markets here in a little bit. We're noticing our local markets, we're actually finding normal prices on 50 series GPUs, which we'll show in a minute. But we can look at the old 6000 series AMD stuff and 2000 series Nvidia, just kind of see if that stuff has gotten more expensive.
Yeah, it does seem the consensus, unless it's a 5090, you aren't seeing at least people aren't buying super scalped priced cards at this point, which is nice. I mean, that works out good for us. So I'm gonna try a 6700 maybe.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So I mean, these are the kind of watch out for parts only. But
yeah, that's not amazing. $299.
I guess
is it from XFX? Is it or is it a third party? It's a third party.
Okay. Me Too Gaming.
Me Too Gaming. Oh yeah, I trust those guys.
Yeah, so basically to kind of put this on the chart, the RX 7600 is just a little bit worse than the 6700 XT in just raw performance. So
you could buy new for $320, so probably better just to spend the extra $20. But if you need extra VRAM for whatever use case, that is an option.
It feels like a 6700 10 gig. I mean,
yeah,
it saves you a little bit of money.
270. 3070 is one that normally we like to see below the 4060 price, but guess what? 4060s are, well, that's actually a good price for one. Is that a legit seller? That looks
legit.
Oh, it's $40 shipping too. I just noticed that.
Oh, yes, that puts up to 300.
Because right now, it's faster than a 4060.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll be similar to a 5060. We'll see what the 5060 is going to be. So $299 is
free shipping.
Is fine. It's actually an acceptable price. Obviously, people care about VRAM. It's not the best option for you, but if you're doing 1080p gaming, the 8 gigs are perfectly fine still for most games that people actually play.
So 300, which I will say, I haven't really seen a whole lot of, anything that's more expensive, it's not gonna feel like a good price. But I will say, like our really cheap boys, like the like 1660s, some of the 580s, the 1060s. So those have stayed pretty close to like what we've been paying.
$100 or like 90 on the low end.
I don't, they can't catch the tariff pricing because they're not importing them anymore. So
yeah, $75 for $10 delivery. So like, yeah, those again, that's the thing is if you're looking to buy used on a previous gen right now is probably the best opportunity for maybe the next 3 to 4 months. But obviously, if stock keeps dwindling because of the tariffs and stuff, the used market is going to get screwed over a little bit. So you got to be careful.
If you're okay with like even really old cards that are now considered to be like sort of unsupported, I mean, you can get a 580 for 60, $65.
Yeah, depends on what kind of budget you're working with. There are options. What about 20 series Nvidia?
20
it's like
series.
a 2080 or 2070.
I haven't looked at those. I remember 2080s for a while. They were so good priced. Like, I mean, they were like, you could find them for like $170. And the 2080, kind of put it in perspective, that's going to be kind of like a 3060, I think.
Yeah, and 239 is not amazing. 279, I wouldn't pay that much. They're okay. I think these are just starting to get old to where the value proposition is getting a little worse on them.
Yeah.
And also it's from a generation during like COVID era and stuff where like the availability was already kind of crap.
I will say though, compared to like the card that did kind of, the newer versions about the same performance, they're still kind of expensive too. Yes. But if I had to pick this over the 2080, I'd probably pick that. They're a big seller.
$219.
The Battle Axe. I don't know if
that's a weird.
This one. It looks like MSI. This looks like old like when I bought my R9 370 or 380.
I'm like wondering where they're getting these from. This is from Colorful, so that's interesting.
Available. That's kind of crazy. Yeah. Okay.
Budget deal right there. But now we've gone over everything in terms of the main markets. Let's look at some of the bad news with AliExpress.
All right, what's one that you feel like you've seen?
Just look up a CPU motherboard combo. That's normally the problem. So any CPU motherboard RAM combo, we love these. They're great for budget builds. This is non-GPU, by the way. You can pick anything really and just add it to the cart.
So we're starting to get closer to like, the non-GPU is kind of fun. It also really, this is just a motherboard. Yeah. It also really sucks because now we're starting to show you guys more so like what the tariffs are doing.
Yes, this is less just like prices going up because of shortages and more anything being imported in right now that would normally be a pretty solid deal. You add it to the cart, signed in.
And right, like you're getting, what is that? 16 gigs of RAM. We're getting probably like a 12-core, 24-thread Xeon, a motherboard. It's like, wow, $84. Yeah, we used to buy these all the time. So now we'll go to cart,
check out, and then I think once you add the address, we can also do some blurring here. You can sign it with Google.
It's now.
Oh, it's lower now though.
Oh.
Okay, so this is weird. I'll be honest. Maybe sellers are padding some of the pricing in now. Because this is, unless it's coming from a different location, the additional charges section is $5 right now.
Oh. Yeah, and so I know you had another board where...
Yeah, I'll put the screenshot. Maybe it was the other one. We got rid of it, but it was like a B450M combo. We could try one of those.
Okay.
It's like a Ryzen CPU motherboard combo. Yeah, that's the one I had, yeah.
Okay, so $126.
This could have just been a one-off where some of these sellers are adjusting or...
$7 for this one?
That's less. That has changed. Okay, maybe that's some good news because for a while there, I'll show on screen here, I sent a message in Slack over the weekend. I was adding it, and it was adding almost like $80 to $90 to each of these combos. So now they're a little bit less. I'm hoping that's not a thing where stuff is gonna start getting delivered and then we get hit with bills afterwards. I don't know how that's gonna work. Or these companies are eating it. I don't know. But at least it's not under the additional charges section anymore.
Based on the shipping, May 10th to 13th, I wonder if it's already in the US.
This could be
that's quick.
There's a chance some of these sellers may have imported a bunch of stuff to the US and they're doing it that way.
And so really what we're waiting for now, which we've already, I know earlier we heard from, because it made news Wise, they imported, was like $175,000 worth of cameras.
Like $200,000 in tariff charges.
They paid like $200,000 or more in tariff fees. So I think a lot of this stuff is people knew this was coming. So companies were taking out loans, they were doing what they could, they were importing as much product as they could. And as that product runs out in the US, that's when we're really gonna start to see a lot of these prices go up.
So yeah, I guess last thing we'll just take a look at is Facebook and just show people basketballs.
I should have known.
Today's picks, graphics card.
Look at that.
An RX 6800 for $300. That's actually not bad at all.
Yeah, so I was telling Matt about this. Like, it's funny because PCs on Facebook, we always talk, they're usually horribly priced. People do not price their stuff well. For some reason though, the stuff that should be scalped, which some of it is, that's not terrible for a 3070.
Basically, this is kind of just a PSA to check your local markets if you've kind of been burnt out and not looked because they're normally crap like we have. check your local market. You might find something like that. 6800 is actually a solid deal.
There's a 3070 Ti for $370. It's a Vision card too, which those are usually expensive. Yeah, and the reason why we brought this up is here we go. The further away, we should see some newer stuff. I have randomly just seen like people selling 5070s for like just MSRP, like unopened. I've even seen some people selling ones where like they're slightly used, you know, and maybe they decided they didn't want it. So it's something to keep in mind. And also, it's nice for us because it's like, oh my gosh, maybe the scalpers are finally just like not making enough money.
Yeah, guys, if you guys have any updates on your all's markets or things you're looking for, let us know in the comments down below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, I mean, obviously it's not all positive, but things are looking okay right now in terms of the month of May. So we'll see how that goes throughout the year. Let us know what your updates are down below. If you want to do any shopping yourself on any of these retailers, link in the description down below will be affiliates and they will help us out.
But as always, we hope you guys enjoyed today's video. If you did, make sure you check out our other two YouTube channels and also our twitch.tv/toastybros. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Hey, we'll see you guys in the next one. Bye-bye.
And also, go check out our PCs. We got a pretty cool selection.
PC Bros on Tech. We sell gaming PCs, so you don't have to do all this hard deal hunting that you may not want to do, and you can just get one ready to go with good customer support and a nice warranty. You just go Toasty Bros on checkout. You'll save 3% in your next purchase. See you guys later. Bye-bye.